जी, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। uh, स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे वी स्टार्ट लेक्चर 3 है, चैप्टर 4 भी कर रहे थे। We were doing chapter 4, lecture 3. Now, the topic for today is starting from transmission impairments. So, what is transmission impairments? It's errors that occurs during data communication from one point to another is called transmission impairment. So it means when you are communicating data between multiple devices uh, from one device to another, and you have to face any kind of problem, then you can say that it's due to transmission impairment, right? So when a signal is transmitted over a communication medium, it may have different types of impairments. So you can say that these occur in transmission impairments occur due to imperfect characteristics of communication medium. So this is the big uh, reason of transmission impairments. It's due to imperfect characteristics of communication medium. Which kind of medium you are using? Maybe it has uh, kind of imperfections, many kind of errors, many kind of mistakes, many kind of other flaws, due to which data is not communicating smoothly. So this is the reason why transmission impairments occur. This is the main reason: imperfect characteristics of communication medium. So as a consequence, the received and the transmitted signals are not always the same. Okay, so that's why we need some kind of improvement to remove such kind of impairments. So types of impairments are attenuation, distortion, and crosstalk. You can say that it's a like noise crosstalk. So if you see in the form of a figure, uh, impairment causes attenuation, distortion, and noise. Okay. Next, the first type of impairment is attenuation. This is attenuation. So attenuation means is the fall of signal strength with the distance as signals travels through the communication media. Okay, so this is a very important definition. Fall of signal strength with the distance as signal travels through the communication media. The signal strength will be decreasing as you move uh, from starting point to the destination. So it is possible the strength of signal will decrease. So this is called attenuation. If attenuation is too much, the receiver may not be able to detect the signal at all. Okay, it means you are losing, the signal is losing a lot of energy. So it's a loss of energy. So when a signal reaches at the destination, it loses all of its information, it loses all of its data. So the receiver is right now unable to accept that receive to that information, what kind of information he wants, the receiver wants, the device wants. Okay, now watch on this picture. This is original signal, this is attenuated signal. Okay, if you watch on this pic, you see it's a signal of another kind, and when you watch on this attenuated signal, it is, I think it is losing some kind of information, some kind of data. That's why it's changed its signal shape. Again, you want to the data information like this, you have to amplify the signal. Okay, so this is amplifying the signal, and this is amplified signal, and it's a very really near to like this original signal. Okay, so on this picture you can see this is point one, this is one device, this is point two, there's another device, and this is point three, where you can say that it's a destination of data where the data has to be reached. So this is transmission medium. So data is moving, transmitting, communicating from this point to this. Maybe it loses some kind of energy, and you want to reach send data on this point three, right? You have to again amplify that data. So this process is called amplifier. Device is called amplifier that amplifies the data. Again, re-strength the data, retain, gain the strength of data. Again, get original information, original data to reach it, to take it on the destination. Okay, next. So what is amplification? So amplification means strengthening of signal to solve the problem of attenuation. Okay, this is a technique. This is the technique to improve the signal, to improve the attenuation problem of transmission impairments. So, a strengthening of signal to solve the problem of attenuation. Okay, uh, in data transmission, you can say that basically, what's an amplifier is a device used in data communication that receives weak signals and it amplifies it and then retransmits it. Okay, uh, now I am going to previous slide. See on this device, this is amplifier. It is doing same thing as you read on this line. Okay, amplifier is a device that receives weak signals, amplifies it, and then retransmits it. So this is original sound sample. Waveform is the same, signal is stronger. This is original sound sample, and uh, and this is amplified sound sample. So this is the amplifying the signal, means it is increasing the amplitude of signal. So its amplitude is very low, and its amplitude is very high. Basically, it amplitudes the signals, like when you are listening anything, music. So you put the speaker between them. The speaker amplifies your voice, and most of people listen to that music or that any kind of song. Okay, next is distortion. So what is distortion means? Change in shape or frequency of digital signal. A change in shape or frequency of digital signal. It's a very important. It's totally work on digital signal, not regarding to analog signal, right? As you have already studied about analog and digital signals, you have already watched the differentiation between analog and digital signal. Okay, so when it is transmitted over a communication line, so it may be possible, say, digital signals change the shape or frequency. Okay, that is called distorted received signal. This is This is like a distorted received signals, and this is transmitted original signal. So this is called distortion of the signal. It's only change the shape. If you watch on this peak and this, you clearly look that it's totally different shapes. So change in shape or frequency. It's a frequency different, and it's a frequency other more different. So communication lines delays the signal frequency by different amounts. Okay, communication line delays the signal frequency by different amounts because different frequency components travel at different speeds. Okay, it's very different components, frequency components travel at different speeds. So it's a reason to change the shape or frequency of digital signal. Therefore, various frequency component signal are received at different delays. So it is reaching actually of different delays on different delays. This causes distortion in digital signal. Okay, this is the distortion, and this is a digital signal. So it's totally depends on different frequency components. Okay, now crosstalk. You can say that it's a noise. Crosstalk occurs in guided media. As signal is transmitted through a wire, undesired signals. When a signal is transmitted through a wire, undesired signals enter the path of the transmitted signal due to electromagnetic radiation. So electromagnetic radiations comes from electromagnetic field. Okay, and electromagnetic fields creates some kind of electromagnetic radiations. It's also called electromagnetic radiant energy. So it's occurs in the transmitted signal, and it produces undesired signals in that medium and that signal. So that's why you so it is caused because of putting several wires together in a single cable. It's also reason putting several wires together in a single cable. So sometimes users can hear an other conversation in the background on phone. Okay, and this happens by the coupling. This happens by the coupling between two wires that are close to each other. Okay, this is due to conversation in the background on phone. This occurs due to the coupling between two wires. They are very close to each other. If you watch on this figure, so he is saying hello ball, and he is responding like this, hello baby bobo. So it's a noise, it's a crosstalk. It's creating some kind of confusion between data and between two persons, and they are understanding not, they are considering something like else. So this is called crosstalk or noise. Okay, now come to communication devices. Uh, so what is communication devices? It's actually a hardware device that is used for transmission of information from one place to another between computers and other devices. Okay, if you want to transmit information or data from one point to from one place to another between computers and other devices, you need to communication devices. Okay, the following are some commonly used communication devices are that is dial-up modem, network interface card, router, switch, and access point. We explain them in letters and details one by one. Now, the first one is dial-up modem. Uh, so dial-up modems basically provides internet connection through telephone lines. Through telephone lines. Basically, telephone lines are used for voice transmissions. So, dial-up uses these lines, telephone lines, for communication. So, maximum speed of dial-up modem is 56 kilobits per second. definitely, which is very slow. And later on, it is replaced by uh, faster DSL connection for internet. Okay, so telephone lines is used for voice transmission, which is analog signal. So telephone line uses analog signal. A modem converts. So it's a dial-up modem. So it is a function of modem. Basically, modem converts digital computer signal to analog form for transmission over telephone lines, because telephone lines holding the analog signals. So it must necessary to convert the digital signal into analog signal. If you look on this picture, so this is a computer, so it is carrying data in the form of digital signal. So this is digital signal. Here it is modem. So modems converts this digital signal into analog signal in the form of like this, because it is using telephone lines. Again, at the receiving hand, before the destination point, again modem is available. It is putting between two devices. Again, it converts analog signal to digital signal, and receiver receives the exact information uh, that device wants. Okay, so this process is called modulation and demodulation. Okay, when this device converts, modem converts digital signal to analog signals, that is modulation. Again, analog signals to digital signal, this is called demodulation. Same here in this picture. This is computer holding data information in the form of digital signal. So this is a modem that converts onto analog signals, and it gets data from the internet. So it's a purpose of modem. Now come to next device, that is network interface card. Uh, this is very important. Network interface card is, or simply you can say that it's a card, network card, is used to connect computers together to create computer networks. It makes communication between computers possible. Uh, it's a card that is installed on the motherboard. Okay, and it is integrated on the motherboard in some modern computers. There are two types of network interface cards. They are wired and wireless network cards. Okay, so look on this picture. This is PC, and that is coming from this PC in the form of parallel data transmissions. And this is network interface cards that is providing the connection. It is connecting computers together to creating the networks. Okay, on the other side, it's a other computer. So it is connecting the data. Okay, computers to create the network. So it is creating the network. Again, serial, this is in the form, transmission of data is in the form of serial data transmission. This is serial data. This is parallel. So this is fast. This is one by one bit transmitting. So it's again here network interface cards. So again, it converts into parallel data transmissions. So it's on the other hand, it's a PC accepting informations sending from that. So it creates actually connection. Computers connect computers together to create computer networks. So again, watch on this picture is a circuit board, and I see this or code that is installed in a computer so that it can be connected to a network. So it is installed on the computer. And some modern computers is already integrated on the motherboard, and some computers we need to connect external network interface cards for the connection of internet. So next is router. It's another communication device, that is router. So router is basically a communication device which is used when two networks have to be connected for communication. When you have multiple networks, two or more than two networks, and you want to connect both these networks, you need a router. So this is the functionality, purpose of a router. Okay, they send information from one network to another, to phone network to another, by selecting the best path available. By selecting the best pathway available, right? So there are two. It's also two types of routers. They are wired and wireless routers. So you watch on this router. This is a modern type of router. Right now, I think you watch two blinking layers, but in this you see you can see that there are multiples. Okay, so wireless routers totally depends on Wi-Fi, and wired routers like their community that is using like a guided media. So here are multiple devices, and this head web link, and that is coming on this router. And router is again transmitting to other 3G, 4G, LTE router is installed here, and it is sending to multiple devices like this machine, like smart X phone cabinet, like ATM, like bus with sharing internets, bus, and there's a network. Okay, and it's an other kind of ministries. So there are multiple message that router is using for communications. Okay, this is the purpose of router, to connect actually two different networks. uh, so it's it's used in local area network. So local area network is a computer network within small geographical area, which is such a home, school, computer laboratory, office building, and some group of buildings. Okay, where it is mostly used for communications. Next, next we have switch and access point. So a switch and access points devices are used for connecting computers together in LAN. Okay, it's a local area network, very within a small geographical area, like home, school, computer laboratory, etc. Uh, Basically, switch is used in wired network, but access point is used in wireless network. Switch or access point devices basically receives information from computers, receive information from computer and the network, inspects it, and then transmits it appropriately to destination computer. Okay, so this is the main objective or purpose of switch and access point. Okay, receives information from computer in the network, inspects it, and then transmits it to relevant destination computers. Okay, if you watch on this picture, so this is network switch. It is sending information and data to multiple computers. It is also connecting with server, like this PC, and it is sending data, okay, appropriately to destination computers. It is sending multiple devices, but it is only sending the dedicated data to that computers. Okay, so in these pictures, this is also switch, and it is transmitting the data. First it inspects, then it transmits data to the relevant computer or device. Okay, so next we are going to discussing communication terminologies. Communication terminologies. So terms refers to basically communication terminologies terms refers to terms or words that are related with data transmission or characteristics of communication channel. Okay, so here some of the communications data transmission terminologies are used to determine the data transmission's capabilities of of transmission media. They are like telephone lines, coaxial cables, etc. Number one, data rate, baud rate, bandwidth, and signal to noise ratio. Okay, we start from the first, that is data rate. You can define it like this: it's a speed with which data can be transmitted from one device to another in kilobits or megabits per second. Okay, uh, it is generally measured in kilobits or megabits per second. The abbreviations for kilobits or megabits per second, kilobits K, BPS, or for megabits per second, MBPS. Okay, uh, megabits per second means million instruction bits per second. Kilobits per second means thousands bits per second. Okay, so this is very interesting examples. If you watch on this level, there are two levels in this picture, and there are four levels in this picture: level 2, level 3, level 4 of transmitting of data from one device to another. So this is level 1. It's on along x-axis, and this is time, and along y-axis this is amplitude. So different bits, multiple bits like 1 0 are transmitting from left to right. Okay, so there it means how many bits here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 bits sent in 1 second from this point to this point. So its bit rate means you can see that it's a data rate means 8 bits per second. Similarly, in this there are multiple levels, there are 4 levels, but we are sending data in the form of two states: 1 0 1 0, this and this. When you count these bits, it becomes I think 16 bits. So 16 bits sent in 1 second, so its bit rate means 16 bits per second. So it's a very interesting examples. Determine the data rate for a noiseless channel having bandwidth of 3 kilohertz and two signal levels are used for signal transmissions. Okay, so it's a for noise less channels, so it's a no noise. So the maximum data rate is given by Nyquist bit rate is, so bit rate or data rate can be found as 2 because it has two signal levels. For this it has two signal levels, so multiplying with the bandwidth. So what is bandwidth? 3 kilohertz, 3 into 10 is 3 hertz, and multiplying with log 2 level. How many levels? Levels 2. Okay, so this is a formula to find out the bit rate. 2 into bandwidth, 3 into 10 is power 3 into log 2. So how many signal levels? 2. Putting the values of L, so L is 2. So after simplifying, you will get 6000 bits per second bit rate, right, for two level signals. Okay, but for four level signals, you have to multiply here 4, and you have to put in the value of level 2 instead of 4 instead of 2. So this is the method to find out the data rate or bit rate. Now we have baud rate. So baud rate is the rate of change of electrical signals, right, per second during data communication. An electrical signal can have two or more than two states to represent binary digits 0 and 1. Okay, it is possible to having more than two states. If electrical signal has two states to represent binary digits, then one state represents binary 0 and others binary 1, right? In this case, the baud rate and the number of bits uh, are the same or equal. If an electrical signal has two states, then baud rate and number of bits transferred per seconds are same. If an electrical signal has four states, then bits transfer rate will be double, right? So it containing four levels. Voltage levels may be can be used to represent 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and like this. This is four states, four voltage levels, okay, and this is two voltage levels, right? So it means bit rate is the rate at which data is sent bits per second. The unit is bits per second. It is also measurement of speed. Okay, so this has a baud rate of 1 baud and bit rate of only two voltage levels and is also 1 bits per second. So in this, bit rate and baud rate is same. Okay, and here two voltage levels. For two voltage levels, if an electric signal has two states, because it had two states, so bit rate and baud rates are same. But in this case, baud rate still same, one, but the bit rate is 2 bits per second. So in this case, there are four states. If an electric signal has four states, then bit transfer rate will be double. So bit transfer rate will be double. Its baud rate is 1 BT, but bits rate is 2 bits per seconds. So this is correct. Now we take one example. An analog signal carries 4 bits in each signal unit. Okay, carrying 4 bits. And if 1000 signal units are sent per second, how many signals? 1000. Find the baud rate and the bit rate. So baud rate only 1000 bits per second. That is baud rate. Okay, only all bits signal units sent per second, that is called actually baud rate. But bit rates, any signal carries 4 bits in each channel, so simply you have to multiply 1000 with 4 and you will get 4000 bits per second. So next we have bandwidth. So bandwidth basically describe the overall data transmission overall of capacity of medium or channel, right? uh, it represents the amount of data that passes through a network per unit of time. So this is important, per unit of time. So bandwidth also measured in bits per second like data rates. Also measured in bits per second like data rates. So basically bandwidth is the overall data transmission capacity of that medium or channel. It means how much limit or data capacity or data limits that channels bear or afford. So this is bandwidth. This is periodic composite signals. If you look on from this, so it's increasing gradually. After that, it becomes plane, straight. It's another gap on this. It's also plane, and after that, it's decreasing. So basically, this is the bandwidth of a composite periodic signal. So, and this non-periodic composite signals starting from this and coming to this, so this is complete bandwidth. So basically, it's a bandwidth, right? You can check the bandwidth of your internet connection by using testing softwares to find out the speed or downloading or uploading of your internet connections at home. Now we have signal to noise ratio. So signal to noise ratio is the ratio of signal power to the noise power. Signal power to the noise power. That causes errors in data transmissions. So in other words, you can say that means the ratio of useful data transmission to error caused by noise over a transmission medium. Okay, you can say like this. You can define it like this: ratio of useful data transmission to error caused by noise over a transmission medium. This is also signal to noise ratio. The measurement of signal to noise ratio defines basically the data transmission quality of communication medium. So defines the data transmission quality of communication medium. Actually, it is defining the communication medium quality. Uh, if a transmission line has signal to noise ratio higher than 1:1, that means more signal transmission than noise. So signal is more powerful as compared to noise. So it provides a ratio. By watching or looking the ratio, you can guess it's a more noise or less noise. Okay. If you watch on this picture, so this is amplitude, and this is noise signal starting from this and this. Okay, some impurities are added maybe in this part, so signals becomes noisy. Okay, this is all about signal to noise ratio. Now we have characteristics of communication channel. Basically, you can say like this: a maximum number of bits that can be transmitted over a communication line is due to basically characteristics of transmission media. If more bits per second are transmitted, then the line is capable of some information will be lost due to transmission errors. It's also possible. Okay, you can find the baud rate by using this formula. Baud rate is number of signals changes per second. Simply, if I go into previous slide, where this is okay, this is the formula for baud rate. How many changes? Again, come to this is calculation of baud rate, number of signal changes per seconds. Okay, the baud rate and data transmission rate measures as bits per second are not always the same in this sense. When baud rate of transmission line that uses modems is like this, calculation of data rate is data rate into baud rate. You can find the data rate by using this formula. So I take one example. When data baud rate and data transmission rate are not same. For example, if the baud rate of transmission line that uses modem is 28 kilobits, if the electric signal has two states to represent binary digits 0 and 1, so then the baud rate and data rate are the same. If the electric signals has four states to represents, like in previous slides, 0001 and 10 and 1, so on, then its data rate is totally different, and its data rate multiplying by baud rate 2 into, like here 56 28, it will become 56, so it becomes double. So students, this is all about for today. So for next, regarding to this topic, regarding to this chapter, I am giving you some assignment, some homework. So there, like, only for 1 minute, please. This one. So this is your homework. Solve the exercise question number 1 on your computer notebook. It's page 130 to 138 of the textbook. Right? It's a question number 1. It's a regarding a multiple choice question, MCQs. It's a very easy. You can solve it by watching lectures, or by watching videos, or by watching notes you have already provided. Write down exercise question number 2, part 1 to 10 on your computer notebook, page 138 to 139 of textbook. Write down the exercise question number 3, part 1 to 5 on notebook. This is regarding all the questions, exercise questions, and you must have to solve on your copy notebook. I hope you do best. You will do best in future, inshallah. If you feel any query, you can take help from notes and lectures provided to you already to solve our questions. If again you have any query, you can send an email regarding any query on this, or you can WhatsApp on this. Okay, thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.